was only going to replace the fuel hoses. Oh dear. Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today's easy job was replacing all the fuel hoses on the 16 valve. Mostly because they're old. I mean, I replaced them all when I rebuilt the car, which was 23, 24 years ago. I haven't touched them since, and the front ones were getting really quite crusty, and I thought, Christ, the back ones can't be that good. I did actually replace a rear one when the fuel damper screwed itself a few years back. But anyway, I'll replace the lot. However, that's kind of escalated a bit now because I've not touched the hoses. I sort of had a look underneath whilst I was there, and I knew, I know that this car's getting a little bit crusty. It was always my intention to restore it properly when the bus was finished. However, I went and prodded stuff, and you should never prod things, should you? Never ever prod things, because it always ends badly. And it ended badly. I'll show you how bad it is. So I was having a quick look under the car, and you can't really see it, the light's not helping. That is the subframe mount that then attaches to the inner sill. And I thought, oh, that looks quite a lot crustier than I remember it being. So I started prodding it, and it's actually separating from the inner sill. So I thought, that's not great. It's exactly the same on this side. It's starting to peel at the back away from the inner sill. So I then started, in fact you can see how, and I may as well at this point just give it a prod, innit? It's fat, that is, yeah, there you go. It's, yeah, that ain't pretty. In fact, that's, the actual subframe mount has gone right through. That doesn't bother me because you can still, Chevronics actually sell shiny new subframe mounts, so I will get a pair of subframe mounts. I wasn't actually going to pull the fuel tank out of it or the rear subframe or anything to do the pipes. Obviously, I was just going to replace some hoses, because they're old, and I was going to do the pump as well and all that at the front. That has now slightly escalated, because when I was pressing around the subframe mount this side, I then started pressing the sill. Well, that seems crusty, and then I shoved it a bit more, and you can actually see here, so that's the outer sill's gone completely. The inner sill it's actually deformed. That ain't pretty. I don't think I've ever fixed this. I haven't fixed this side because this side's still got the original gloop around it that they used. But yeah, the inner sill's deforming and has, it actually feels quite solid, but apart from at the bottom bit, that is not pretty. Behind the inner sill, this big hole here, is the subframe mount, which again is easy to replace once you drop the subframe out of the way. That is assuming that the chassis legs are any good. There's only one way to find out if the chassis legs are really any good, which I will have a look at in a minute, but that is not really what I wanted to see because I don't have time to do this. But I've actually booked the car in for the 40th anniversary meet thing. I'd quite like to go. This side I fixed years ago, and the bit I fixed, alright, there's some surface rust showing, but it's actually, it's all quite solid, but I'm pretty certain the inner is certainly going down the seamlet, and I'm pretty certain the inner sill's going to be bad because the subframe mount behind it is pickled and lifted, and the easiest way to do the inner sill really is to cut that out. But that's easy enough to fabricate. I've done loads of them, and what tends to kill certainly the 16 valves over any of the rest is or well, certainly mine, because it lives on a farm that's covered in mud and shit. And the sill skirts just fill with shit that's held against the sill. I mean, all of that shit and all of that shit came out the back end of that. That one was, well, it's also full of shit. Most of that fucked off. Somewhat annoyingly, and I really didn't want to take the quarter wings off. This quarter wing's never been off. I've never had it off since I had the car. But it's done the usual BX thing. Again, once you start prodding, and it's actually eaten into the quarter wing itself, but that I should be able to fix if it's just that corner. I don't have any more quarter wings. I put the last pair I had on Dad's car. I mean, this, again, that bit's easy enough to fix. I've done plenty of them. I'll never make it look pretty because I've never managed it yet, but I'm kind of hoping with this one, I mean, obviously it depends how bad it looks up there once I've got the wheels out of the way and had a look. But if the rest of this isn't too bad, and I suspect it might be up here because they usually rot up here, but if it's not too bad behind there for now, given that I really don't have time for this, hopefully I can just unpick the wing, probably up to the top to be fair, but just sort of peel it back so I can get access to this, weld that up, do the subframe mounts, inner sill, out the sill, and job done. The other side is much the same, to be honest. It's not quite as bad, but there's more structure there. But again, this, I have had this quarter wing off years and years and years ago, so I'm fairly certain, certainly behind it, it all feels pretty good. I'm pretty certain, because I replaced the stress panel, I think. I'm sure I did. No, I did, yeah. I replaced the panel behind the quarter wing. So all of that should be alright. Again, I'll find out when I get there. But again, hopefully I can do the same. Unpick the welds that I put in along here, peel the wing back, repair that. It is, again, it's actually eaten into the... They rot through from behind, it's actually corroded into the quarter wing. But it's just that corner, so I should hopefully be able to tack a bit in there, fix that. But this side is, well, it's not pretty. I'm tempted to pull the front sill skirts off and have a look at the front. And I've poked my hand up in the slot, and to be honest, they feel solid as hell, and I did do all of them. So that shouldn't be too... It should be alright, but given how easy it is to get these off when you've got the right sort of tools in the knack, I think if I'm going that far, I may as well pop the front ones off, have a ganders, make sure it's all okay. And this is annoying because, again, I wanted to strip this car down to a bare shell and just go right through it, and I wanted to make sure I had all the bits in stock to do that before I started pulling it apart to keep the downtime to a minimum. And there's so many other things going on right now that I could really live without this. So equally, I can't leave it now I know it's there. You know, I can't ignore it. So I think, you know, I mean, this is never going to be a concours car. So I think what I'll do for the time being is fix the rust. I don't really care. I mean, again, with these, you know, the 16 valve, I don't really care if this looks like a pretty repair. It doesn't matter because there's a bloody sill skirt on it. You can't see it because it kind of, it's all this fitting. This one-handed is quite entertaining, but you know, it's all, well, you get the idea. You can't see any of it because, ta-da. So long as it's got no rot in it and it's strong and the subframe's not going to fall out the car, I'm not really bothered. It does mean I've got to drop the fuel tank and the rear subframe, which, I mean, to be fair, is no great shake. So I've had this tank out before, it will fall out. I've had the subframe out before, that will fall out. But I think just to see how much of a nightmare this is going to turn into, I'm going to have to clear... God, I've got a lot of shite on the seats. if I get all the shit off the seats, pop the seat forward and then get these covers off, you can actually have a look down at the top of the chassis leg where the subframe bolts up through into it. If that looks okay in there, then happy days. You know, this should be, it's not going to be a perfect job, but it will be a job that makes it strong enough so that it's not going to fall apart on me and I can use it. Again, you can't see most of it, and I guess, to be fair, if I look at it that way, I can do this relatively quickly, I hope, and it's something I won't have to, if I do it properly now, I won't have to do it again when I restore the car. I mean, the other, I am at some point going to have to pull the C-pillar trim off, because weirdly, and this is the only BX I've ever seen that's done it, the actual back end of the, I guess you'd call it the D-pillar, was actually corroded across the top. So it's good and bad news in here. The leg itself, that's the top of the chassis leg, doesn't look too horrific. It is, however, starting to go, can't really see it, but yeah, it is starting to go along the seam. It's starting to go, it's really hard to show, but yeah, it's starting to go where it meets the inner sill. God, there's a lot of shite in this car. This is usually a good indication of how rotten it is around here. If the seat bolt will undo. The other one was alright. To be honest, this one ain't bad neither. So might not be too bad. It's not actually particularly easy getting these out with the seat bolsters in the way. I'm gonna try and cheat for the purposes of rapidity. I guess they'll bend a little bit. Oh, hello. Okay, there's a bit going on in there. Right, let's show you this in real time. Almost live. Oh dear. Okay. So yeah, there's cobwebs, there's wood louse. Very, very dead wood lices. That has, fucking hell, this torch doesn't really help, does it? Hang on, does it work better that way? Maybe. You can actually see it's actually separated quite badly, which is weird, because it doesn't look as bad this side, but there's a blister on the back before the landing panel. It's quite crusty around the rear. Yeah, this side is not as good. It's actually gone completely by the looks of it up the back, so that could be a bit of chassis leg as well, but I think that's where that's lifted and pulled away is because I think the subframe mount's gone. It's actually pressing it up into the boot floor, the floor of the car. I mean, actually, I was going to say that feels pretty solid, but right in that corner there. That's not good. That's not good at all. Okay, so it's going to be a bit of chassis leg as well. Tits. See what I mean? This is let's gave that a shove, and it's not pretty, is it? It's even right down the bottom. It's gone very, very crusty. Actually, I mean this has actually blown the seam. That's bad. All of that, no structure left in it. So I'm gonna have to pull that quarter wing, which is probably no bad thing, because I had a hell of a struggle getting the bumper off. But there's an outrigger there. It's done what they do. It ain't there no more. This will have to come off. That's only glued on, so that's not too bad. I actually have a repair panel for this. I don't have a repair panel for this bit, but it must be said, actually most of this feels okay. It's just really around this section. So I should be able to chop a bit out of another car. Not too worried about that. I repaired this years and years ago, and it's starting to just pickle a bit. I never clean the welds up. I didn't bother. You can't see it. Who cares? This was back in the day when I was using a much smaller MIG, and I wasn't very good at welding. And I'm still not very good at welding, but happily, all of this, I mean, they always rot out here. That's where the little tang is attached that holds the breather for the fuel system. And they're spot welded to it, and they always corrode around there. Mainly because the whole wheel arch section on these is shit. That is just, everything's a mud trap. But you know, it's fine along the bottom. The rear valance is okay, even where I repaired it years ago, which is good. I've not taken this side apart too far yet, but you know, again, it all feels, there's a little bit of flex in this, in the panel. It might be a bit stressed, but in terms of, nothing feels like it's corroded through. I'll have a better look when all of that is stripped. But you know, this side, it all seems absolutely perfect. Various bits of tree, but yeah, this side feels absolutely fine. So it's really this panel, and this is where I've got to make a decision of how far do I go with this, because I really want to rattle through it very quickly. This was not planned. I mean, it really wasn't planned. This was replace some fuel hoses and the injectors and stuff and go play with it over the summer. I'd still like to do that, and like I said earlier in the vid, I've got so many other things to do that this is not amongst it. However, to repair this, you know, there's a wiring loom and the drain tube for the sunroof that runs down here. That will have to come out. The only sensible way to do that is to drop the roof lining. You've seen me do that before. And it kind of needs to come down anyway, because the sunroof doesn't actually work properly, so I could fix that whilst it's out. If I'm doing that though, do I pull the roof, because it is getting pickled in both corners where they always go. And it's also really, I mean, you can't see it, but under the little wind thing on that side of the roof in front of the sunroof, it's really pickled. So do I think the thing to do will be pull the roof lining down, have a ganders at it, and see what the actual structure of the car's like. And I'm pretty sure it's alright. I don't think there's a lot wrong with it round there. I mean, there's only one way to find out, granted, but if I drop the roof lining and the structure looks pretty good, it'll give me an idea of what's going on with the roof. I might, for the time being, just be able to get away with treating the corrosion in the corners, because again, I want to restore this car, but I really don't want to do it now. I just don't have time to put into it now to do it justice. So I could, I mean, they're not bad, they're just pickling where they always do that, all of them do that. I could just treat that both sides and then slap a little bit of paint on it there for now. if that corrosion in there is just the cross member pickled through into the roof, I think I can do a reasonable repair and just cut that out, weld a new bit in and put a cross member under it without disturbing the roof, which would be, you know, a nice simple fix, given that I don't even have to worry too much about making the paint pretty or painting the whole roof, although the whole roof does need painting. That again is for when it gets restored, which is not now. But, you know, given that that is actually hidden by this thing, I mean, this might be the reason it rotted out. They do seem to corrode more when they've got these things on them, but they look pretty. So I could just fix that corner, paint that bit that I fixed, leave the rest of it for now, if the rest of it's okay, because I think I can probably, although this goes right up into the corner, you know, there's quite a lot of room here without having to go into where the roof attaches, that I think I can fix that without having to pull the roof skin off. That is, I mean, that's, oh dear, yeah, that's, ooh, okay, what the fuck's going on here? Yeah, that's, there's not an awful lot left of that, is there? Oh, there's the drain tube. Yeah, I mean, you can't see it, so it's corroded up into that corner. This is where all the panels overlap. That panel I learnt from doing Dad's car. Having never dicked about with these before, I learnt very quickly that this is only spot welded to this. And it's a whole heap easier if you're taking the roof off, drill the spots out, take that whole panel off with the roof, save yourself a world of pain. I wish I'd done that. I didn't do that, but I mean, if I've ever got to do that again, it's a little bit pickled in there, but again, that's the seam sealer's blown. But that's not, you know, that's not too bad. I think that's clean upable, and there's still structure in it. So yeah, I should be able to unstitch it. If I can get, again, I think this panel, the lower panel, is spotted into the rear corner. Annoyingly, all of the bloody scrap bits I had off the white car, I chucked in the bin. It looks horrific, but actually, you know, the bits where they always go, it's great. I think I said I've done them before, but I mean, the weld is shit in that corner. But yeah, it's only just starting to pickle around the weld, but I think that's probably where water has just been pouring into the car through this enormous hole. That side I'm really happy with so far, touch wood. So I think probably better to do it now than later, right? Anyway, on that score, this has ended up being quite a long video, and I wasn't really intending to make a video at all. So ho-hum, I think I'm going to pack up because I've strewn shite everywhere. Send an apologetic email for playing music because I didn't know there was a wedding on. And bugger off. So see you in the next one, which is likely to be more rusty BX.